Hello, Curry County. I'm Mindy Turner, your Family and Consumer Science Agent with the Cooperative Extension Service. We are starting a brand new series on seasonal crafting. I really wanted to talk about some crafting as we make this transition from summer into fall and then of course into the holiday season, because I really believe that crafting for a lot of us is a great mental health piece. It's relaxing, we find something we like to do. A lot of us do have maybe a group that we like to go and craft with. A lot of our extension clubs here in the county make a lot of different projects that then they can give away or donate or use as a service. So what a beautiful way to work on your own mental health and then do something for someone else. One of the things that can be very not as healthy about crafting is we tend to accumulate things that we never use. Or we decide we're going to make something and we spend all of this money gathering up supplies. So what we're going to talk about throughout this series is maybe some found items. Things that you might already have on hand or that you might pick up at a garage sale or just come across somewhere. Or that are going to be on sale. Things we're going to start to see clearance as we move throughout the seasons. So today we're going to start with terracotta pots. Now these are things our whole lives, we've all seen terracotta pots, big things, spring and summer into your planning. We'll see a lot used kind of throughout the fall, but we'll also start to see at our big box stores and our home improvement stores, these things kind of starting to clearance out to make room for the next thing. So when we talk about terracotta pots, it's important to think about there's lots of different sizes. You can have different shapes, different types. We're gonna use standard pot shapes today in the things that we're gonna make and talk about. But as you move forward, these are great transitional things that can be used, again, throughout the holiday season. So let's start off a little bit. I've got some fall things put together here. I started with some spray paint, and I just purchased spray paint in a few colors for the things that I wanted to make. Now again, it may be that, hey, you've got some spray paint in the closet, so what are we gonna make? Well, maybe we're not gonna make a snowman because we don't have white, but we have orange, so we're gonna make some pumpkins. So think about what you have on hand that we can use, as opposed to going out and having to make a high dollar craft, which kind of defeats the whole purpose of repurposing an item. So when we look at our terracotta pots, I mentioned there's lots of different sizes, there's different styles. This one has the little ridge and it's a little fatter. This one is just a plain, straight up standard pot. These are the smallest size. Now sometimes you can find these not just in the gardening section, but also in the crafting section. So that's when I went to look, because I've almost missed the window. We're starting to see not as many on the shelves. But when I went to look, I found more of the smaller size in that craft section than I did in the gardening section. So, and I did have to go to a couple different stores to acquire the different sizes. But again, you may look at what you've already got out on your porch. Maybe it's that bush that didn't survive. Okay, if you're like me and your mom just didn't make it, you might want to just take that pot and create something else that you can use with that. Okay, and then of course the saucers that go along with them in different sizes that you can also use in addition to the pot or as a standalone piece. Wouldn't this be cute, painted orange with a pumpkin face on it or a scarecrow face to set candles or something on for the fall, or even just some pretty fall leaves painted in there to do that. So think about the size and shape, what you have on hand that might work. Some of the things that I've put together with our smaller ones, and again, these are examples, so you could do this with any of the sizes depending on what your purpose is. So for fall, I thought it was kind of fun to have a little set. So you can see there's a ghost and a jack-o'-lantern and a little Frankenstein down here out of the green, and then a black kitty cat. So here, this is something very simple. These pots I think were 88 cents a piece. Little spray paint. You can paint directly on here to make your faces, whatever you want to do. If you want to use permanent marker, I actually for these use these paint pens that are actually permanent paint that you can put on, but instead of having to use a brush and paint, which that may be something you're great at that you really want to do, that's great for you. But I went ahead and used these paint pens to make the faces and do the different designs that I wanted to do, because that was a simpler way for me to get that done. But I also had these. These can be very expensive. So I'm not saying run out and purchase these, but if you've gotten them over time for other projects, they're a great thing to use for this. So once you have these done, again, it's a cute little set, different things for fall. Maybe you're having a Halloween party. Well, how cute would this be with your utensils in it? Or you put a napkin in one set of utensils and you make a placeholder for people with their name on it even. So the cute little teacher's gift for fall, this one just has some pencils in it that you can pass along. One of my Christmas ones over here is just filled with candy. Now it's important to think about when we talk about these kind of pots, you can buy them already glazed. They're going to be harder to decorate, obviously, because they're already glazed with the paint. And we're looking more at just the bare clay. Most of the time, that's not going to be food safe if it's just the bare clay. And if you just spray paint it, again, that's just paint and paint fumes. So individually wrapped things can go in there, or if you want to seal it with a food safe sealer, you can brush that in or spray that in to have that to be able, if you wanted to use it like as a cookie jar or something along those lines. You could also, these were really cute for, this is just a cheapie. These were 2 for $1. Little light up candles. Make a really cute, you can't see it burning from there, but a really cute little candle holder also to add a little ambiance to your party. Okay, so talking about cookie jars and candy holders, one of the really fun things you can do with the pots, again, I mentioned you could use the saucers, is you can match up your sizes or even go a little larger. So this is just a regular old pot. Okay, I spray painted it orange all the way around. This is the saucer. Again, just spray painted orange. I found this is actually a wall hook made to hang on the wall, to hang like a hat or a coat on. Found these, again, 2 for $1. I think they came in gray or white. I spray painted the green to add to the top to make my stem. Now then you could also, a little raffia, a cute bow, something else that you've picked up to really decorate this. Some people don't really like the Halloween theme, they don't want jack-o'-lanterns, so I just left this as a plain pumpkin, but you could add a face, add some little fancy thing. It's always great to monogram things if you wanted to put an initial on here. These would be great with decals, again with the paint or the paint pens or the permanent marker, or just stickers of some kind that you wanted to add. This is just hot glued to the top, and I do recommend with these, they can be kind of slick. You have to make sure you get a really good bond with that glue if hot glue is what you want to use. There are other options for adhesives out there. We did a whole nother program on adhesives, so think about that when you get ready to put something together. But all you have to do then is this serves as the lid. Again, you could fill this up with some individually wrapped candy, pass it on, make a little goodie bag of candy corns and stick it in there and pass that out for friends and family. Make a nice little gift. Okay, so then these things transition very easily as well. You make a few for fall. Oh, that was fun, that was great. Well, now we're headed into the Christmas season. Or maybe we don't give a lot of gifts or go to a lot of parties in the fall, but we do a lot around the Christmas and other types of holidays throughout the winter. So here's some examples, same ideas, okay? This is just a larger pot, okay? Spray painted white, put a little snowman face on it, took the larger saucer, the same knob, just so I would have a knob on the top. You can also use a little wooden ball, a little cottony pom-pom type ball on the top to give it that look of having a little beanie for your snowman to wear. Okay? And then you just put that on there to make the top. You can add whatever you wanted to that. Also, these are great for fun little ornaments. Okay, you can flip it upside down. This one is a snowman. I'm trying to get in where the light can kind of show. Okay, and all I did, these already had a hole. Now I found some that don't have a hole in the bottom. So that's something to look for depending on what you're planning to do as your craft, because you don't want to have to go back and drill a bunch of holes. But so this was just run through the twine, tied in a knot to hold it on to make the holder. Okay, this one is just a cute little gingerbread house. Okay, how fun for little kids to get to decorate. Again, you can use real items. Okay, you could use buttons and other fun little plastic fake pieces of candy or stickers to do this and make those decorations. Okay, here's one that is just green that again, you could turn it this way and paint little lights around it. You can put it this way and make it like a little Christmas tree. Lots of fun things or ideas you can do. You can add a face and make it an elf. You can add, do of course red ones and make Santas. Here again is just a little snowman done up to hold some candy to give away. Cute, fun things that we can use in different styles. So the one I'm going to show you really quickly, think about too how your pots can work together. So this one, a standard, just a medium-sized pot. I'm going to just use a little bandana, and I'm not going to glue it on because I want to be able to take it off maybe and use it again. But it is something you can take a little old flannel shirt or a piece of plaid material, and you can Mod Podge that right onto this pot and have it on there permanent if it's something you wanted to leave out. Okay, but so we're just gonna move some things out of your way so you can see. You know, put the little bandana on there, and then what I have here is I've just decorated a little face to make a scarecrow. So then I would glue with whichever type of glue. Like I said, mostly I've used hot glue for these projects. Him right like that, so he stands up a little higher. This is just some raffia stuck in here. Now again, a cute little plant. If you wanted some type of a candy giveaway or some other fun, this would be cute with suckers sticking out of it to put on a desk for people to pick up. You can add, if you did put a little shirt on here, you could stuff the arms and you could have little arms, you could add little feet, however you want to dress up your scarecrow. So the fun thing about crafting with all of the seasonal items we're going to talk about over the rest of this series is that it can be whatever you want it to be. Doesn't have to be fancy, it doesn't have to be expensive, but it can be super fun. Okay, and that's our goal, is to make it super fun and a positive mental health experience for us to do our crafts. Again, I'm Mindy Turner with the Curry County Cooperative Extension Service. You can find us online at curryextension.nmsu.edu. If you click on Family Health and Wellness there, you can request a copy of our newsletter. The one for the next couple of months will have the instructions and information about these specific projects. You can also submit a question here to us about anything you would like to know related to family health and wellness. I hope you have a wonderful week. Find something fun to craft.